This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Our goal with our videos is to empower you to be able to do the repairs on your own and save a whole lot of money and also get that great feeling of having fixed it by yourself. Today we have an LG washer that has a mysterious leak, so we're going to be getting it out from inside of a hall closet, and it's got a dryer stacked on top. So I sprayed some Windex down in front of the feet, and I open the door, grab the inside of the frame, and I'm pulling on the left, then pulling on the right, so I can get it out far enough to do some of the disconnections. So looking back there, I can see the vent tube is still connected, so I'm going to have to disconnect that and the water line and the power cords. First thing though is I'll take out these two Phillips head screws here on the side, on the left side and the right side, and they're holding on a bar that is connecting the dryer to the washing machine, and I need to separate those two. This is basically holding the front feet in position. It's just a metal bar. So once you get the screws out, you can pull the dryer towards you a little bit by maybe about an inch, and that bar will come loose, and then you can get that out of the way. Next thing is to get a friend to help you move the dryer off, and if you don't have somebody who can help you, you can just take a garbage can and put the dryer on top. So I just removed the vent tube also. I turned off the gas. I'm able to get behind the washer and the dryer and unplug them. And I'll take my crescent wrench and I'll loosen the compression fitting that's bringing the gas line to the back of the dryer. If it's an electric dryer, you can just unplug it and take off the vent tube and you're all set. But a gas dryer, you have to remove the gas line. Once you've turned the gas off, you can loosen it and take it right off. The reason we have to get the dryer off is we have to remove the washer's top panel, and we really can't do that with the weight of the dryer on it. So I'm just checking the drain line here. It looks like maybe the water had backed up at some point because it's you see a lot of dirt up there, but it looks like that was probably a long time ago, so it's not a recent problem. So now we're turning off the water. This washer had a bunch of water that would just continually leak underneath it even when the washing machine was off. So now we're taking our pliers and loosening the water lines on the back, the hot and the cold. We've already turned off the water. And this is part of what we have to do to replace a fill valve, which I think is what's causing the mysterious leak. LGs are kind of famous for the hot side fill valve starting to leak over time. So now I'm pulling the dryer onto a recycling bin or a garbage bin, which is about the same size as the washing machine, so you can kind of slide the dryer right onto it if you're just working by yourself. Take your time though, because those garbage cans and recycling bins are a little bit unstable. So that got it out of the way enough where I can get off now the top panel of the washer. To do that, I'll take out this Phillips head screw here on the right side and one on the left side. And then there's also another Phillips head screw here, which is part of the bracket that holds on the dryer. So I'll get that one out. And one on the left side. And then I need to grab the upper panel and pull it back toward me by about 2 inches. Sometimes they're kind of stuck, and you can lift up a little bit on the back as you wiggle towards you, and eventually it should come loose. So other things that can cause a leak are a dirty glass bowl, the door bowl of the washer. If you clean the bottom aspect, a lot of times that'll get rid of the leak. Sometimes the door boot has a small hole in it, but if those have been checked and you still have a leak, it could be this thing, which is the fill valve, and in particular the hot side fill valve, which is what's going on with this machine. So we're just going to be replacing that, which is pretty easy to do. So here's the hot side fill valve. We can see the rust on the top where it's been leaking right there. And there's even a little water. So even when the machine's off, the water just keeps dribbling out of there, and it can add up to being a lot of water over time. So now we're taking off this line that connects to it by pulling back on the spring clamp, and we're going to twist and pull this water hose off. And then there's just two Phillips head screws, one there, that are holding it on. And we'll get around the back, zip those out, and then we can put in the new hot water valve. You can get these at Amazon, pretty cheap. All right. There's the old valve. Here's the new one. I'm just going to fit it right in through the hole in the frame, and then we can put those two Phillips head screws back on. There we go, there's the right side. And left side, got that nice and tight, and then we just put the power connector back on and we are done. While you have it open though, it's probably a good idea to replace the cold side too. The cold side's a little bit more elaborate. It has 4 hoses. I'm just putting the hot water hose back on now, and then I'll squeeze this hose clamp, push that all the way into position. Okay, hot side's done. Now we're going to use the, I just want to show you guys the part number. This is the hot side part number for the fill valve. And that's the cold side. So we're going to use our pliers to pull back on the 3 spring clamps for 3 different hoses. There we go. We're going to pull the hose off one by one and put it directly onto the new cold fill valve, just so we don't get these hoses mixed up. So you want to kind of pull and twist, and that'll get it off. There's one. And we'll get that clamp up there. There we go. Do the middle one. Got it. And then there's one more. Get the hose clamp tight. All right, got it. So we're going to wiggle the 3 power connectors off of the old valve. and then we'll go around the other side and just remove those 2 Phillips head screws. So this cold side one was not leaking, but whenever you replace one valve, it's good to do the other one too. Okay, there's the old valve out. Grab the new one. Just push it through that hole, and then we'll add the 2 Phillips head screws. Alright, put on the 3 power connectors, make sure that they're on there tight. Got it. So now I'm going to carefully thread the water line for the cold side back on. Just take my time. And I'll tighten that up with the pliers. Now we're going to do the hot side. And be careful not to mix up these hoses. So sometimes the hose has like a red band on it for the hot side and a blue band on it for the cold side. And we'll turn on the water valves. I'm putting the top panel back on now. I'm going to set it down, and then I'll wiggle and push it forward to where it locks in. Go and add the 2 Phillips head screws back in. All right, now we're going to carefully lift up on the dryer, get that back on, move the garbage can out of the way. Then we're just going to position the dryer on nice and straight. So now I'm putting on the dryer gas line, thread it on carefully, and then I'll tighten it up. I want to get that nice and snug. Make sure you don't have a gas leak. Turn the gas back on. All right, I'm going to plug it in, and while I have it still kind of in this out position, I'll go ahead and turn on the washing machine and run it for a little bit just to make sure that there's no leaks before I put it all back in. Put on the dryer vent tube, So I'm just going to pinch on that spring clamp, get it on in position, and then put the spring clamp over and release it. There we go. Okay, everything's set. So we're just running a normal cycle. Here's the old valve. You can see how rusted it was. And it seems like it only happens on the hot side on the LG washing machine. Putting that brace back in, the one that holds the front feet of the dryer, so the dryer is on there nice and securely. And then I'll put in the 2 Phillips head screws to hold it. So I didn't get any leaking at all from the washing machine, so I'm all set now to push the washer and dryer back in. I'll spray some Windex underneath the 4 feet of the washing machine, and then I'll just push on the right and left back and forth until I get it all the way back in. Just going to drain the water out first. And while it's draining, I'm just going to eyeball that drain line back there because it looked like at some point it had been leaking, probably because the drain line in the wall was clogged up. But it seems like it's working now. So now I'm just pushing right, left, getting it all the way back in. This is sometimes a difficult part. You can sit down and then use your legs. That can actually make it a lot easier. Just have to have something behind your back to give you more leverage. And we got it in, and it's working great again. Thanks so much for watching our video. We really appreciate you coming to our channel. Please subscribe when you get a chance by pressing the subscribe button and also the bell button so we can send you notifications of any new videos that come along. And we have a new thing here called the applaud button. If you really liked the video, if it was helpful to you, if you can click that, we really appreciate that. It shows your interest in our channel and your support, and can't thank you enough. Feel free to contact me at the email listed below, which is scottthefixitguy@yahoo.com, with any of your questions. And also, if you need to have a FaceTime meeting with me or a Zoom meeting, you can click on one of the links below in the description, and we can set up a 15-minute or 30-minute video conference where we can work on your appliance problem. So thanks again for all your support and for watching the video.